Non-debatable.
All right, we'll open this first meeting of 2013. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Let the record show that Selectman LaPlante is on vacation. We have, hopefully, a fairly uninterrupted, easy, no controversial. Oh, speaking of controversial, I will make a statement. I'm very, very pleased to hear that the Chief Ober is still with us and working for the fire district.
No kidding!
I am
Sorry, Catherine, didn't mean to.
I'm very saddened to find out that he, in order to continue his work with the district, he's at a financial burden to himself where he has to rent in the district and still own a mortgage in another place because they were too despicable to give him an extension, but that's neither here nor there. Pleased that we have an outstanding chief as he is, still a part of our community.
Oh, yes.
Right? Amen
agree.
to that. That's great.
Second your motion.
Let me tell you, last night's budget workshop, I don't know how you can have a workshop and make decisions, but
Oh, you're talking about the fire now.
the fire,
Okay.
they do. They make decisions during the workshop. And that was quite an eye-opener for me. They're still on the wage line, and they haven't made a decision yet, and the Budget Committee needs their figures this week, and they still are going round and round with the chief on what Commissioner Clark would like to propose and what the chief would like to propose. It's like, I don't understand. We can agree to have a different proposal and let it up to the district to vote on it.
Right.
That can be, that's a different option. Why hold things up? But apparently that's what it is. I felt like I was in a circus going round and round and round. Did you feel that way? Just round and round.
It was interesting, to say the least. It was non-productive.
It was very non-productive. It was just, I wish they would get beyond the silliness and start doing some work. Okay, we have the approval of 12/20. Did we have a meeting on 12/20?
Yes, don't you remember? We met in the morning.
Apparently. I would like to make a motion, the first motion of the year, to, what do I want to say, Catherine? To bring the minutes of December 20th, 2012 to the floor for discussion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. The first thing I would like to point out is that in the very first sentence, it's got Selectmen's meeting minutes of December 20th, 2013.
Same thing last year.
You're on a roll, Catherine. And you're consistent. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. But I've corrected it. I got it. Thank you.
As an aside, under reports from Selectmen, you'll notice that we talked about we would be meeting this week and presenting the following week. So I don't know where they got having Marge being on the agenda for tonight. I'm not sure where that came.
So she actually wants to come in next week, not this week.
Yeah, well, we'll be meeting on the 8th and come up with a final recommendation to bring before the Board of Selectmen, and then we go from there.
Okay. So just put that on the,
For next
with a question mark, because Marge has to call and make make sure that she asks for that.
We have, I believe, next week, we have Senator Forrester coming in. Is it next week? Let me look.
I hope so, because I got something on the agenda for, okay.
Are we inviting the others as well?
And I believe
Ian?
Ian...
Dennis?
Dennis.
How about the senator from Franklin?
Lay Webb, I think he's a
Representative.
representative.
Oh, he's a representative?
He is. Lee Webb, I don't know why I always say
Who's the
Lay.
other senator? Who's the U.S.?
I know who the other guy was.
Kelly Adas,
No,
federal senator.
the state senator.
Okay.
She said U.S.
Yeah.
I wish you hadn't asked me, because I should know this.
Yes.
We don't have another one.
Well,
We
no.
have Jeannie Forrester for our
State
district.
senator.
Right, Jeannie
From the-
Forrester
from-
is our state senator representative
Yes.
for our district.
That's correct.
There are others around us.
That's correct.
Andrew Hosmer, Laconia.
Yeah, but there is another one, I thought.
There's one across the river,
And Franklin.
but I don't know who he is or she is.
I know, and
I think
it
Ms.
just
Forsyth
escapes
is
me.
gone.
Oh, isn't it Carol Shea Porter? Oh, no, that's Congress.
Charlie Bass.
No, he's out.
He's out.
I know.
I'm sorry, I can't even think.
None of us can, so
I just,
ought to be quite a night, right?
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm really a blank tonight.
On page 2, first paragraph. Bill Lambert. I don't know if the other fellow, jeez. The other fellow, I don't know if he was the commissioner of DOT, or if he was one of the assistants, but the chief would know.
Okay, I'll check that with the chief.
Well, Bill Lambert's not the commissioner.
No, Bill Lambert is traffic.
Right, Bill Lambert's not the commissioner.
No, there was Bill Lambert, comma, Commissioner of DOT, comma, Earl Sweeney, comma. Why can't I talk?
There shouldn't have been a comma between DOT and Earl Sweeney if he was the commissioner.
Earl Sweeney is not the Commissioner of DOT, he's from Safety.
Bill Lambert was the commissioner.
No.
No, Bill Lambert is traffic, and I
Traffic
forget
division.
exactly.
He's,
Traffic administrator, I think.
that's not,
He's over on,
Commissioner. So is it, I'll check with the chief to see if it's...
yeah,
Right.
there was either the assistant commissioner or the commissioner.
I'll
The way he spoke, I think he probably was a commissioner.
I can look it up on the website. Do you remember his first name?
Nope. And we should put Earl Sweeney's title. He's from Department of Safety. And then they agreed there's a process they can go through, blah, 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 lower the speed limit. Should be New Hampshire DOT, not just DOT. The lowest you can go is 30 miles an hour. We had talked, previous boards of selectmen had wanted it to go to 25 miles an hour. But New Hampshire DOT will not allow it to go below 30.
Is what you
30?
were saying, that.
I know, and maybe I messed it up.
It should be 30?
Yes.
I believe so. But you could concur, no, you know what, see, I'm confused. That is right, it is 25, because
Yeah.
currently it's
It's
30.
30, correct.
It was 20 they wanted to go through, so you're right. I was right.
That's what you said.
I can see it's going to be quite a night. Maybe we better quit before we hurt ourselves.
I'm going to chalk it up to the day, I think.
Yes, I think so. I think so.
In reading under Chair Constantino, did we, just as a side note, did we send anything to Officer Rowe?
Yes, Tim sent a check in memory of his...
No, not Renault, Rowe, the one that was
Steve,
Steve.
Just
Oh,
Barbara
I
just had a
wasn't
card,
here.
And I
Okay.
was waiting for Al to sign it before I mailed it.
when will Al be back?
I'm not sure, I'll have to check it, because
He's not in on Fridays.
His door said January 4th.
Is that Gus,
He
though?
never works the 4th.
Is that
Never
Gus?
works on
I mean, Friday.
Is that Gus that'll be here tomorrow?
They're both out until Monday.
I'd go ahead and send that. We,
Okay.
I think we should,
I wasn't
Right.
here, I didn't know what happened.
he was shot.
He was shot. Yeah. He's in Boston.
All right.
We
He's
sent
up
him
in
a-
Carroll County.
Yeah, I was thinking we should,
Send him a basket or something, some, fruit.
He's out of the hospital.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, send
he's
it to
had
his home
couple of
then.
surgeries.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long time before he goes back to work.
4 weeks.
How much?
4 weeks.
Did you see a picture of that guy's leg?
Yes, I did.
4 weeks seems very optimistic.
That's what
He's
they
got a
said.
gash that long in his bone and shot through the bottom of the foot. 4 weeks seems very
4
optimistic.
weeks.
I would,
I was amazed.
I would be optimistic at that one.
Yeah.
He's a tough fellow.
Yeah, he is. You're right.
But anyway, are we going to send him like a basket, a fruit basket or something? We usually do when people are ill or otherwise,
I think we
surgery.
should.
Yeah,
Fruit basket.
yeah. Well, whatever.
Whatever.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
What do you think?
When I had my last surgery, the town sent me this basket. It had a little fruit, but it also had crackers, it had cheese, it had,
Okay, send one of those.
yeah.
I was going to say, too many fruits. He doesn't look like a fruit type of guy.
No, but I mean, it had a
Hey, I
lot
could
of,
be wrong. I didn't say, no, shut up, Joe.
I was thinking,
oh, what a night
I was
we're
thinking
gonna
on the
have.
same lines, but I didn't know how to express it, so thank you.
Have nothing but respect for Officer Rowe.
Just not a fruit kind of guy, huh?
Mix up the basket a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm
Moving on.
sorry. I'm gonna eat another carrot.
I hope he gets a chance to watch this tape.
Maybe if we all eat something, we won't say anything tonight. All right, moving right along. The consensus is we'll send them something, thanks.
Yes.
Okay,
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as corrected of December 20th, 2012.
Second.
all those, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
I don't know where I've been, I just barely noticed that aloe sitting there. From the size of it, it must have been there for a long time.
The what?
The aloe.
That's been here as long as I have, Catherine.
It's a perfect home for it, isn't it? Yeah.
Did Tim write up anything on a report?
It's printing right now. I just opened my email and he had sent it and asked that we print it. They come out at printed time.
No, we got one.
Upstairs. Two-sided.
It only printed then.
Okay.
You know, if I took it downstairs, I could have it back up here before this machine does anything.
Well, it just said it sent it.
Data.
It says attached is my report for your review this evening, January 3rd. I asked Joyce if she would review item number 2 with you since it requires action. Thanks again, my apologies for my absence this evening. I appreciate your understanding.
Any word on his child? Sick kid.
That look like a financial report?
Where did we have 2 spruce trees removed? On 12/26.
What are you reading?
Okay, I printed.
A.J. Roy's.
copies of
A.F.
the
Roy.
email, but it only gave me one of his report. I'll take this downstairs and print it out.
Okay, sorry.
A.F. Roy.
A.F. Roy removed 2 spruce trees.
That's what I'm thinking. That was from Dennis?
Must be. Why would we cut down spruce trees?
From the storm, maybe? What was the date on it?
12/26.
That was the Christmas storm. Wasn't it? Did we have the storm after Christmas?
That was the storm we had.
No, it's the invoice.
All right, look,
We don't know?
where the trees came down? No, they don't know. It was on 12/26 and had to have been across the road or something.
It says Franklin Savings Bank, that's why it's, and the invoice description says Franklin Savings Bank, which leads me to ask, why would we cut down trees at Franklin Savings Bank?
So we'll put a, can you put a tag on it and say holds? Put it here. And just put a tag on the A.J. Roy one, A.F. Roy one, and just put hold on it, and then we'll know. Hold for question.
So the check is made out to Franklin Savings Bank?
No, see here in the explanation?
Oh, that's the name of the account, FSB operating account. That's the name of the account. The
Well,
two entries,
Why isn't that on any one of the others?
because one entry is crediting cash and the other entry's debiting.
Okay, so that's got nothing to do with it, but we still don't
No.
know where or why we took
And he
down 2
didn't-
spruce trees.
No, and all we have is the date on the invoice.
Yeah, his invoice just says, remove 2 spruce trees. Okay.
How much did we charge? 200. Remove 2 spruce trees. He didn't give a subcontractor. Town of Tilton, huh?
See if you can get Dennis, and
Want me to call him now? Or? Okay.
see if you can get him and just ask him. All right, here's Tim's report.
All right.
Hey Dennis, this is Joyce, how are you? Good, on the invoices, invoice fees, Allen Road, Bruce Street, Okay, why don't you hold on because I can put it on speaker, and then that way everybody can hear, okay? Oh, yeah, your voice picks up really well on the microphone. Okay, you're on speaker.
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah, it was on Highland Avenue. It was a tall spruce tree. The wind had tipped it over, not all the way, but it was probably tipped on an angle of 30, 40 degrees. And I felt that it was a real safety problem, and it would have came down 2 days later with the wind that we had. And Alan Roy, I called him because it was probably about a 35, 40-foot spruce tree. We had to get it out of there. He had a chipper. He had his truck. And we did it. Got it all cleaned up within an hour and a half.
So he took down one 40-foot spruce tree?
Yeah,
It says 2 spruce trees on the invoice.
that's correct. There was 2 of them. One was a 40, and one was probably maybe 25. They were both together.
So one had to come down because the other one came down.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Dennis.
That answers our
Sorry to bother
question.
you.
Thank you.
And, residents had called, and I went and looked at it. It happened on, I think it was on a Sunday afternoon. And Susan Daly called me, and I went down and looked at it, and then the next couple of days, that's when we took it down.
Okay.
Okay,
Great. Thank you.
okay,
Thank you, Dennis.
Yep.
thanks, bye-bye.
I like what
Number
our
3.
finance officer does on vacation.
Oh.
Seems like he spent a lot of time here.
On vacation.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my word, look at the savings. Tell me he doesn't earn his money. Great. So Joyce, you'll have number 2 on your docket, on the agenda?
Yeah, I think that was just to make sure that the selectmen signed the audit engagement letter and the
Right.
DRA form MS-60.
Okay.
You didn't shut the door?
Because the chief.
Hi, Chief.
Aye.
Okay, Joe, do you have anything for us?
Just the notification that we're having a recycle committee meeting on the 8th at 11 o'clock, and at the selectmen meeting on Thursday evening, we'll be making a final recommendation as to recycling.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Catherine?
No, not much. I've had heat issues as health officer for the week, mostly in one building on Main Street.
Same one that we got.
That's a new furnace, isn't it? Oh,
And there's
goodness.
heat issues.
Yep.
Not to the same people, I hope.
Yep. One of the commercial storefronts called me. There's, as health officer, there isn't anything I can do because they don't live there, they're just renting a commercial space, but they put a lock on the front door, so it makes it more interesting for me to gain entry. I usually push one of the doorbells and hope for somebody to be home, and usually they will let me in, but I'm not sure what's going on. I'm still trying to work through that. I have my suspicions, but that's all they are. Other than that, it's been pretty good.
Knock on wood, right?
Catherine, can you make a call to see if our non-public can come in a little bit earlier?
The only other thing is
What time do you want to
Do mine? My stuff?
Is it going to take you an hour and a half?
Oh, it's just an hour and a half. Oh, wait a minute.
She's not until 6:30.
Okay. No, mine would not take an hour and a half.
I'll go downstairs and see if I can get that.
What time do you think?
For me?
What time do you think we'll be ready for the non-publics?
Oh, 20 minutes.
Yours is 20 minutes. So I would say about 5:45, between 5:45 and 6. Thank you. Go ahead.
I met Dennis in Town Hall this morning. He was coming through. And I suggested to him, if it wasn't too much trouble, that when we have a snowstorm, if it, like when they're in the pickup truck or whatever coming through, that they could swing by and clear these two spaces. School Street is plowed by DOT.
Yep.
And usually those spaces don't get cleared until we clear Main Street. So I suggested if you could, if they just, wing the snow out of there, because it's really problematic. I mean, it's all ice now. It's going to have to, hopefully we'll have a thaw, but they'll have to come over.
It's supposed to be 50 degrees next Wednesday, so.
That would be great. Chisel it out. But if they did it every snowstorm
Yeah.
and just,
The same with these two right across the street. The two right in front of the building across from us.
well,
Those two spots are the same way.
right, but that's not parking for this building.
Right.
I mean, people use it, but that's why I thought, to
Yep.
keep spaces free for this, because that one out front and these two, it's almost impossible to get in. I watched an older person try to maneuver out of a car and then over the snowbank, and because it's the other thing, the only access into Town Hall from the street is on the corner
Right.
and the alleyway. Well, that's the other thing I spoke to him about. It's obvious that when they plowed the alleyway, they must have come through with the sidewalk machine. When they plowed the alleyway, they plowed it all in again, and then people walking, because when you walk through there, that's all ice.
Yeah.
So
I know.
our older citizens, makes it really difficult for them to get into Town Hall, and if you're handicapped and use the handicap, it's just a nightmare.
Yep.
He was very receptive of the idea.
Yep.
Yeah, because
So-
all the way up, you have to walk down in the street, all the way until you get to the next door. And I don't really like going in there because it's kind of that incline and there's ice all over it right now. It's like, whee!
Right, so,
Yeah.
I didn't know if we wanted to talk to him any further about, kind of clearing a path for pedestrians. Because this morning when I came in, usually I walk in through Mr. Fredette's little entryway that has been
Yeah.
shoveled out, but the trash was there this morning. So I just meandered down
Yeah.
the street until I got to the alleyway and then went through.
About yesterday afternoon, there wasn't too much trash out there yesterday afternoon, so I didn't find anybody putting out any early trash. in
Except for Main Street.
No, I didn't see any on Main Street, did you?
Oh, last night going home, yeah.
Oh, last night, after 5, I saw it.
Yeah.
After they closed their businesses, I saw
Oh,
it.
no, yesterday before?
Right,
Oh, I don't know.
because the complaint was they were putting it out early in the afternoon.
Well, if they put it out any earlier than the morning of, they're violating the trash ordinance. So it behooves us to, right now, we have to enforce the ordinance. It's not ours, it's the town's. So it behooves us to write one that's enforceable, because it's either that or the people on Main Street are going to have to come to work hours earlier than they opened to put their trash out.
Right. And that doesn't seem fair either.
No, or
Oh, it
talk
doesn't
to,
seem fair at all.
or talk to Best Way about changing the route So they're not picking up Main Street first thing in the morning, they're
Right.
picking them up later in the day when they're actually open.
Right.
But the problem with that is then you've got your people shopping downtown, and the best way is trying to get in and out of
There you go.
traffic to get the trash.
So I think we need to sit down and really think about the problem. And
Yeah, I like putting a dumpster in the back and no trash on Main Street.
write a warrant article. That's an interesting, but where would you put it?
Well, I'm sure we could find places to put it that would be accessible to all the
Take up
buildings.
parking spaces.
But then
That'd
you
be a
have to-
heck of a dumpster.
And then you'd have to,
Then you'd have to lock it, give everybody keys.
Why would you have to lock it if it's a municipal?
because everybody would be
Because everybody
using
will
it.
use it.
Everybody
Regardless.
who? If they can bring their garbage to the curb and set it down, why would they carry it all the way to the dumpster?
Talk to the people who lived on Noyes Road where we used to have a dumpster. And we used to have a dumpster.
Sandrington does not have drive-around pickup. You have to bring your garbage to the transfer center. Unless, of course, there's a dumpster right down at the end of your road. We have a different system here.
Autumn Drive, we had a dumpster at the end of Autumn Drive. It was a nightmare,
Yeah,
absolute nightmare. People were dropping off mattresses, tires, all kinds of stuff. They weren't even putting them in the dumpster.
well, that would be a problem, but July at 3:30 in the afternoon, driving through downtown is a big problem. I mean, that's trash in our downtown. So I don't know which is worse. I'm guessing garbage all over Main Street, but maybe not, I don't know.
Sounds like a
So I think we
reasonable
should,
solution. I think we should at least explore
Right.
the different alternatives, and that's one of them. I think we should at least explore it.
and maybe we should talk to Best Way to see if they have any, because I'm sure we're not the first one experiencing
Right.
this problem, and they may have a solution we're not even
Right.
That we haven't even thought about.
But I think it's something we should talk about
Yep.
and try to fix, because
Yep.
enforcing the ordinance seems to be a little unfair.
Yep, I agree. All right. Sandy, do you have anything for us?
The only thing is just to let you know that tomorrow Dennis and Jane and I are meeting with Mike Izzard downstairs at 2:30 in the afternoon. He's going over the methodology for the highway department. If any of you would like to join us, this is not the presentation to the planning board. This is just to sit down primarily with Dennis and go over what he has, and if Dennis feels there's something that needs to be changed, whatever, to do the tweaking now, and then he will come and do a presentation to the planning board. So anyway, that's tomorrow at 2:30. We'll either be up here or downstairs, either one, I don't know for sure yet.
And that's pertaining to the capital improvements?
Yes, to the impact fee, you have to have a
Impact fees, yeah.
methodology, and this is the methodology for highway. Tomorrow at 2:30. That's it?
Next week, we have a meeting to go over
That's the 8th.
the employee, some updates in the employee manual,
Tuesday the
how to
8th.
treat paid time off, and
Right.
going over,
What time is that?
I think it's at,
7:30?
let me see. It's at 1:30.
1:30. No, I'm done.
Joyce, are you going to bring up the Grange today, the senior center, the ice?
Yeah, did you get all my little report,
Yep, we have it.
number 3?
Got her.
I didn't see your little report.
You got it, it looks like this.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, our budget is scheduled, our final budget numbers should be in, do we have final budget numbers for tonight? So that we can go over them?
All he had left to do was the revenues, which he's working on tonight, and in my report to you, I gave you the final numbers on the changes to health insurance, but I haven't had a chance to sit down with Tim to calculate what that does to the budget.
We have to present them on Wednesday evening. I'd like to look at them before we present them.
What is the last day for their public hearing?
February 13th.
And when do they have to have the budget? After that?
It says, "I will have a draft of the revenues to email to the board hopefully before the end of the day tomorrow." This is on Tim.
Their last public hearing is on the 13th, but when does the budget have to be finalized by the Budget Committee?
Oh, I want to say the
First, I think.
last Friday, I want to say, without a calendar in front of me.
They have to have it posted by such and such.
Well, here, I can look up a thing.
Usually, we try not to change it after that
Right.
last public hearing.
The the day they have to give it to the selectmen for posting is, all right, February 15th is the last day to hold the budget hearing, but they're holding it on the 13th. February 20th.
Okay.
They have to deliver their budget and warrant article recommendations.
And when do the selectmen have to have it posted?
The selectmen have to have it posted the 25th.
So I really want the numbers to them, though, so that they can have a reasonable... Actually, last night, they voted on some parts of the selectmen's budget and approved some parts of the selectmen's budget.
They approved everything but actually part of the recreation, because they'd already approved it at their meetings. They want the park commissioners to come
And they're waiting for the
in.
wages.
Right.
Well, they approved it.
They approved it, I know, but they're waiting for...
You have to remember, though, they can change it right up until the 15th.
But they're waiting on the health insurance numbers, they're waiting on, what we're going to do with the maintenance and town hall repair, the list. And then, health insurance, the town hall repair, revenues.
And revenues. And according to Tim, he wants to have the revenues to us by tomorrow.
So if he gets the revenues to us tomorrow,
The health insurance is negligible.
okay,
And I can't really talk about it because I don't want to violate HIPAA because somebody could somehow figure out
Right.
who I was talking about. But if anything, I think there may be a small reduction
okay.
based on the changes. And town hall, I thought we did that. Didn't we have that list? That's where we decided.
Well, I'm just suggesting that perhaps maybe if we're meeting for the paid time off
On the 8th.
on the 8th, that's the day before we present it to the budget, could we just take 10 minutes to go over those couple of numbers? If everybody's going to be here on the, you coming on the 8th?
What's the 8th?
8th, we're going to go over the policy,
What policy?
paid time off, buying out and so on, and remember, so we wouldn't have to break the rules every year.
Oh, I thought that was being rewritten. I didn't know we'd...
We're going to rewrite it on the 8th,
What time?
but
I'm going to be here anyway, but what time?
1:30.
Say again?
Joe's going to be here, Sandy's going to be here, and myself is going to be here, so if you're going to be here, we can do that. And just take a look at the final numbers on the 8th.
I can't imagine those are going to change much.
No, I can't either.
What are we doing on the 8th?
Rewrite the policy.
The employee handbook on the one that we...
Paid time off.
Yep.
Yeah, paid time off.
So we can take 10 minutes and look at those numbers that, if you can have them ready for then, that'd be great, okay.
And then for the town hall repairs, I'll just print out the report I gave the board
Okay.
a few weeks ago. We can update for the gutters, and I haven't gotten any responses back yet on estimates for the,
I figured that whatever we do here probably should be a warrant article.
Whatever.
Well, let them decide.
I think that,
Because that's going to be major.
yeah. The other thing, it surprised me, the other thing I want to bring up, it surprised me, Catherine, to see that you replied to a resident's. We got to come up with, now that you're so computer savvy here, and you're replying to emails, did you get my pun here?
Yeah.
I didn't know it, and I had called him, so to avoid that duplicacy there, I think we,
I think the more the merrier. I think it's
I gave him
great
the
that-
same answer.
Right, but I think it's great that I replied and
Right.
and however many of us replied, I think they feel better knowing that we're all on top of it.
But I think if you reply, I think maybe it would be just to let us know that you replied, you could just
If you notice,
copy us.
If you notice.
She did.
My
I got a
first,
copy of it.
my first attempt to send it, I said
No?
Catherine.
Well, Catherine gave,
And then when he
Oh, I
came
see.
back, I'm like, what's this? And I'm like, I saw what I did.
oh,
So
okay, I got it.
my
all right.
computer savviness was not quite where you think it
Kind of
is.
getting there. I get it, I
We're
get
getting there.
it, get that. I did get a call over the holidays from a resident that Bestway did not pick up the garbage on Thursday, and when they finally dug the garbage out and brought it to the dump, they were told they couldn't dump it there because the dump was full.
What dump?
Why wouldn't Bestway pick up the trash on Thursday?
They did.
They did not pick it up on that end of the town.
Anywhere?
What end?
this is the first I'm hearing
Yeah,
this.
nobody called.
I never received any calls, and I made sure I
What
I got
end?
the call, I called
What end?
all the phones.
Thursday has to be the western side,
West End.
because we're
I
Tuesday.
was going to say, we got ours on Wednesday.
Yeah?
Well,
Thursday it
Slick as
wasn't.
can be.
I'm on the West End, I did get my trash picked up on Thursday. On West Main Street did not get their trash picked up on
All of them?
Thursday.
Or did somebody just not put it
Two.
out in time?
Well, two, I got two. One of them brought their trash to the town, to the dump, and the dumpsters were full, and they couldn't take any more. I mean, they
That seems odd.
Well,
it happens.
it happens when
Is
I
that
talk
right
to
after
Deb.
the holiday?
Yeah.
You said the 26th.
Right. And the question from the resident was, why don't we make a provision during the holidays, knowing that people are going to bring more trash with, wrapping and cardboard and presents and...
I find it odd that Dennis wouldn't have thought of that. Only because Dennis is like he's amazing. He really is, thinking about this stuff. See, it just strikes me as odd that he wouldn't have thought of that.
Well, the facility we have at the town garage
You're
is
limited.
there because when we closed the town dump, the legislative body at the time wanted us to, as near as possible, duplicate down at the town garage. Of course, you couldn't have piles of trash burning, so we've done that.
Yeah, but we're not.
But it's not designed,
Refuse.
right, because we have curbside pickup, it's really not designed for someone to say, oh, I don't feel like putting my trash out today. I'm going to bring it down to there, or I've got a lot of trash, and rather than holding it over till my pickup day, I'm going to bring it down there. It's really designed for, we have areas in town, like Pest House Road, there's a couple others, Noise Road, the trash truck can't get around there. So it's kind of designed for those problematic areas. It's really not designed for people just to decide, I'm going to put my trash there instead of curbside. So,
That was the answer that I got from Dennis, just so you know, I was going to give you that answer. That was the
Yeah.
answer I did get from Dennis. But myself, living in the town for 29 years, I didn't realize that. And so once not me not knowing that, how many other residents don't know that? So
No.
obviously, there's a few that don't know that. So, I haven't got back to the resident, but I will, and explain it to them, but just so you
It
know.
does have a
that was
dumpster
complaint.
for regular solid waste down there, because I've seen it. I've seen people dump in it.
Well, I also know that on that Friday that the trash truck went by my house. I'm going to say late in the day. It was, later than normal. And it was about between 2 and 2:30. And he always goes down to the end of Clark Road, and then he makes a turn back towards town on Main Street. So he does go on West Main Street, because he comes down our road after he's come up, and he goes back the other
But that
direction.
was on Friday, so they were just confused as to when he came by, for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, because I remember saying to Joe, I said, well, there's the trash man, and he said, I should have put out our wrapping paper, but he didn't. But, he did go by. So, and I know he came back up West Main Street, because that's how he gets back over, but,
We don't have enough room down there to duplicate,
Well,
to have
not to
enough,
accommodate all the
right,
residents.
to have enough containers.
There's a dumpster, as far as I know.
And when they
There's
get packed,
two.
they have to be,
There's one from strictly municipal use, the trash from here.
That's right.
The municipal trash, and then there's one for the residents.
and there are some that
When
think
they're
that
full-
they can squeak in another bag, just one more bag, and then the covers open a little bit, and you really can't have that, because then you have animals.
Then you're gonna have the health officer down there.
Right.
And you don't want to mess with the health officer.
All right. So just so you know that was a complaint over the holidays.
All right, so I'll follow up with Bestway on that. So I know.
There's no need to follow up on Best Way. I already talked to Dennis. Dennis said he'll follow up on it.
Okay.
That was
Hear that. All right.
eons ago. Okay. All right, Joyce, we're all ready for you.
Even say they have a truck breakdown or something, they usually call, and then they will go back the next day and still pick it up. So they should have tried to tell.
working fine.
And there's no way a resident would know they're coming back the next day,
Right.
really.
Right, exactly.
I was typing up, because I keep track of all the repairs to the town hall, and I was typing that up, and I just kept going. I got a little carried away. So if you go to the little report I typed,
Little?
well, I know, I just got carried away, because, I mean, I keep this, because I keep a record of each time when we have problems with the heat.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and then while that was going on, the panic hardware on the School Street door broke.
Did it break or was it frozen? I wondered
We
about that.
don't know. He took it apart, and he put it back together again, and he said it's working fine now.
Because it used to freeze off and on, especially when we'd have, extended wet period, and then all of a sudden you'd just drop like a rock. It would just freeze up.
Well, it was disturbing because we weren't able to lock the door, so we had to get it fixed.
Yeah.
So, but he showed me where there's a little place where you can get a little tool, like a little Allen wrench or something, to get in there. So if you wanted to lock it, you could.
It is an Allen wrench.
An Allen wrench. But he dismantled it and put it back together, and it worked fine. And then from there, I wasn't able to get in touch with the highway department. They were at a workshop in Samberton, so the worker from Clearwater went over to the senior center and chiseled out the door, and then Dennis later took a look at it, and what he's suggesting is that the board install a diverter or a gutter to carry the water away from the door. And my suggestion is, I've been in touch with Lakes Region Seamless Gutter anyway, because they're going to be doing our gutters, that we could have them go over tomorrow and give us an
Did you
estimate.
say Clearwater? Clearwater Builders?
Well, whatever
Out of
the
Center
name-
Harbor?
No, whatever the new name is. What's the new name?
It's used to be Up Country Builders is now.
Oh, when she said Clearwater, I thought she meant Clearwater Builders out of Center Harbor.
I'm going,
Oh, I see. Oh,
No,
So if you would like a,
it's Matt Glenn.
I see Matt Glenn. I didn't notice the Clearwater in parentheses.
Yeah.
That's, okay.
So if you'd like, I'd be more than happy to have the gentleman go over there tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And at least we can get an idea.
Don't you have a roof, or did that get taken down?
No, there's a roof over there, but it doesn't overhang. It's just, it's always been direct, and now the ramp is right there.
Yeah.
It's always been right direct.
If we're gonna have him put a gutter, or give us a price for putting a gutter over the back door, I mean, the cost for him to go there, if we have him do it, is fixed. We should have him look at the front door as well.
But the front door has a cover.
Porch.
Porch.
Got a porch.
Is it this way?
Yes.
Or is it this way?
It's this way.
So, okay, so when you're coming in the ramp,
Right.
all the rain comes off the porch onto you.
Right, but you can't put a gutter in front, you can't put a gutter on the side of the building because the tip of the ramp going down is at the end of the roof. Let me see that, I'll show you. This here, if you put a gutter here, the rain's going to come down here. Oh, you know what? It could go in between there. The gutter can come right down
Right.
and end in there, you're right. You could do that.
Right, because they don't have to
you have
have the
to show
gutter
me.
end up at the roof. They can run a thing down and channel it wherever they want.
If the gutter comes here and goes down here, it can go in between the ramp. There's about 2 or 3 feet in between the ramps.
Right.
The ramp comes down and then goes around. There's a space here, and that's where it can drain into.
All right.
But I think that you either have a diverter on the back door or a gutter, whatever they think. The issue is you have to do something and do it soon because we now have a public building that only has one egress when that freezes.
Right.
And that's an issue with the fire.
Fire. Sure it is.
But they should look at the front because handicapped people shouldn't have to go through a curtain of water when it rains.
I totally agree.
Now, when I think of diverter, I have one at my front door. It's
Like-
just a
like
strip
this.
of metal that's
Right.
just like that, and so
Yep.
the rain goes to the sides.
Yep.
It's just like a little piece of metal.
But the back door there's different types of diverters, but the back door may need a diverter in the gutter, that
And the
little
gutter,
strip in the gutter, whatever they,
Okay.
but what's your thoughts, Joe?
I've had bad luck with gutters in the winter. They freeze up, and then all of a sudden you have an iceberg inside of them, and they fall off the building. I'm thinking more of a diverter than a gutter, or a gutter with a diverter. Keep the water out of that, keep the snow out of the gutter.
I've never had my gutter full of.
We have that problem too, but what we do is we take our gutters off in the winter.
There you go, and then you'd need the diverter for the winter time.
My gutter's been there beyond my lifetime, before my lifetime.
The metal.
You've got a good
metal.
one.
Well,
Well, it's got a pitch.
when I call him,
Water
find
doesn't
out
set in it.
if he can get down there,
got a proper
I'll call
pitch.
you and let you know when he's going to be there.
Are we in consensus, say when he's there to do the job?
Somebody should take a look at it and make a recommendation as to what they think will hold up best, and
But we want to
Will
make
be
sure it's
most
a
effective.
reasonable.
Right,
Yeah.
well, Dennis said either diverter or gutter. That was his recommendation.
Do you want to let Dennis make the best decision out there when, want one of us be out there?
You have a situation where the weather's just going to thaw until next Thursday.
Yep.
I think it's key to keep that
35 on Sunday
thing
and it's
shoveled.
climbing up. So I would just have him look at it, give us his best recommendation, and
Okay. and
we'll
then
deal
do
with it Thursday.
And address it Thursday?
But we're going to be here,
Okay,
Wednesday.
we're going to be here which day?
Wednesday.
The 8th, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So tell him
We'll
we'd
be
like an estimate by Tuesday. Tuesday, 9:30.
Call him tomorrow, ask him to go out,
9:30?
call me, I'll go out
What
with
did I
him.
say?
I thought you said 9:30.
I'll even be there on the
did.
weekend.
At 1:30.
I'll even be around on the weekend if he wants me to go
Who
out.
told me 9:30?
No, not Tuesday.
1:30.
1:30.
1:30.
Tuesday?
Not 11:30. I'm going to be here at 11:30 for recycle.
I briefly lost my mind there.
I wonder what's happening at 9:30.
It's that
Well,
kind of a day.
So
If you
1:30
call him
Tuesday.
and you can give him my telephone number, and when he heads over there, I'll go over with him.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, town hall car
Try
needs
like-
a fuel
they're
pump
sort of
and the
like
frame is
whorehound.
rusted out, so Dennis has taken it to the highway garage, and he's loaning us his highway car.
I noticed that we had a
I want to know
snazzy-
why
My mind
the
wasn't
radio is
done.
disconnected. Did he disconnect it
Yes,
for
yes,
our
I
use?
understand.
Or is that why it's been disconnected?
He
That's why they were
disconnected
bought
it because he
for.
does not want us to use it.
Okay.
It's an awful
Got
big
it.
can.
The reason?
I was just wondering if that's why we can't get in touch with him.
Oh, no, because,
Oh, that kind
no,
of
because,
reason.
right, you don't want any, I mean, they have a certain frequency.
Yes,
You just
right.
got to be real careful. He
That's
just
correct.
didn't want anybody to be playing with it.
I go,
Okay.
Chief, what are your plans on the vehicle? Which vehicle comes offline?
I know Dennis told me on that this morning too, and he's gonna look at a couple of them and then let me know what his
Wow.
thoughts are as far as which one really is the worst as far as the body, the frame, the engine. Arthur picked up 2 of them today, and they were supposed to get back to me by tomorrow.
So we get the worst one.
Well, he wants to make sure you don't actually, and
Right.
I told him I'll work with you because I don't want that to happen either. Let's try to make sure. a
How many are you
decent car-
taking offline?
Well, 1 for right now. So we want to make sure it's a good running car with a solid body and not going to have a lot of issues.
So we don't make one car out of 2 cars
Right.
again?
Okay.
Okay. Because that's what we did for highway.
I wonder why it disconnected the radio. That could have been fun.
I just asked her that question.
Do we get a spotlight?
I don't care about any of that. How about the siren?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Picture the spotlight.
Leave that in.
He's got to put the spotlight back on it.
The what in, Joe?
Siren!
Oh, no. Catherine Dawson would be dangerous with that one.
Me too. I don't drive it much, but boy, I'd have fun.
Get every place in a hurry, right?
Yeah.
Someone raking their lawn and all of a sudden
I
the
used to have-
siren goes
I
off.
used to have radio in the Northfield Town Car and in the Newmarket Town Car, and that's because I got to listen to, I always knew where they were and what they were doing. So maybe that's why he doesn't want us to have one.
Maybe we should have a receiver down in your office and you can listen to them.
Yeah,
I've
just
tried
one
that,
more
too. The
thing.
problem is with computers, it interferes with the reception. You guys can all have scanners if you want.
I think you should put the radio, switch the radio.
No, thank you. I would rather not know what they're doing
Well, that's
sometimes.
my feeling too. If it's that bad, someone's going to call me. You know, I don't have to sit there and wait for
We
it.
find out from people what they're doing enough.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that 4. So 5, Caleb Hill Road. Yeah, so I think we need to get, we've been assembling data. I remember I still have the letter from last year, the one that Senator Sanders wrote. I've already made up maps and aerial photo pictures and designated exactly where the problems are, and so I just think we need to get political.
Should we invite residents from Caleb Hill Road to our meeting next week when our general court representatives are going to be here?
That might be a good thing to invite them.
You know,
Or should we?
think about,
get-
Dennis Fields was very instrumental in Route 132, getting that done.
What,
Route 132.
the ditching they did?
Yeah, the ditching work.
Yeah.
And he helped with our Silver Lake Road audit. Yeah, they changed the way one of the roads was coming out at the request of a resident.
Right.
Where?
He worked
up there with
with, he
them.
worked with the
Lancaster Hill?
residents.
He was right up there with them.
Yep.
Well, I'm just saying,
Got an A for what's
Caleb
well
Hill.
with it.
I think that's a good idea, because the more documentation we have,
Right.
it just helps our case.
it's the general court that is diverting the monies that DOT needs to fix the roads.
Right.
So they should
Not if
hear
we get
firsthand.
gambling. If we get gambling, it's supposed to all go to highways, I heard.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's going to go to highways.
Sure.
Like the lottery.
So maybe
went to
they should hear
education.
firsthand.
It does go to education.
Yeah, you know what? Not a very big percent of it does.
I bet most
The
of it goes to law
they're
enforcement.
bulky with administration
Right. Administration takes a lot of big chunk out of that.
and advertising.
Okay,
Numbers.
but,
But anyway, just Dennis is, he's on top of it, and we just need to figure out what we're going to do to get the state to plan next. The state has to reclaim, redo the road in that section, because there's water that's bubbling up through the middle
State
of the
does
road.
not want to do anything with Class 2 state aid roads unless the towns are going to take them back.
Right.
The problem is because they've stopped doing their summer maintenance years ago, the roads are in such deplorable condition that that's a very expensive project. And then there's no guarantee that they're going to rebuild them as they should be rebuilt before the town takes them over.
And if they don't rebuild them properly, then it's just going to be another nightmare.
When you do the state aid road projects, you're there. You've got skin in the game, so you make sure it is built properly. You municipally manage it if you want.
We went through the Silver Lake Road project. I'll tell you, there was some hard head knocking going on through that whole project, and they almost abandoned it because the town wouldn't loan them money to do it.
It's a good road, I can vouch for that.
And they didn't do
Must be nice.
Doesn't even have a
what?
crack in it, Sandra,
some of what should have been done.
Must be
What
nice.
time is the legislative delegation coming?
considering what it was.
Time is Jeannie Forrester coming? Okay,
So is it just her or all of them?
no, and Dennis and Ian are,
Have you
Dennis?
confirmed the others?
I'll call them Monday to confirm.
All right, so
Wanna
you
invite-
said 5:30?
should we invite Andrew?
I'd invite Andrew
I would.
Hosmer, I'd invite,
Every one of
Was ever
them
to the
that
south
come
of us?
around here.
Okay, and now you want every residence on Caleb Hill? That's a lot of people on Caleb Hill, or just up to a certain point? See, some
No.
people access Caleb Hill to get to 127 to get on the highway.
I would talk to Senator Sanders. I would talk to Pat Clark. They live in a very problematic area. All that water washes off down
Mike?
that western
Right,
slope.
that's another trouble
Like
spot.
Robinson, it goes right down to his driveway.
Dennis Manning,
Yeah.
Jr.
And if they can't come,
Letters.
send a letter, and we'll present them?
And I would contact Perrin, or Perrin's son.
Well, how far up of those residences do you want me to, what is it, Burley Hill Road, where it ends?
Chuck Mitchell's pretty much at the end.
Chuck Mitchell? Okay.
Chuck Mitchell is the end
Yeah.
Well, the Tilton end.
of Caleb
Wouldn't
Hill.
hurt to, because our postage budget is way down. I mean, we do so much by email now, we just don't mail that many things, so we can afford to send a letter.
To these people,
Yeah.
but they have time to receive, you'd have to send them out first thing tomorrow.
Right.
Well, how else would I get in touch with them? I mean, I'd have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of them, if they're working, they're not going to be able to reach.
Well, Senator and Pat, we're going to have their emails. But that's a good point.
Center, Pat, Chuck, Mike,
Center-
we have their
Mike,
emails.
yeah, the
Ben
Mannings.
LaBelle, we have the
Oh, Ben
email.
LaBelle, yeah.
Mr.
Matt
Perrin,
Duran,
we now have
emails.
his.
And ask each of them to
That
call
I don't have his, I've got.
Tell your buddies, tell your pals.
Yeah,
Yeah, let them do word of mouth.
yeah, let them do word of mouth.
Okay.
Contact those we
we have-
have emails for.
I don't
I
have
can get
Daniel's
you
email.
Michelle Jackson, she's on Caleb Hill, further up.
Nope, she is, yeah.
I can give you her email address.
Okay, yeah.
I have I have Alan Berman and Becky Albert. They're on Caleb Hill.
Okay.
So I'll send those, as soon as I get home, I'll go through and anybody I have Caleb, I'll send to you.
I'll do the
And just ask
same.
them to contact their neighbors and let them know.
What other roads? Do you know anybody that lives on Clark Road?
I wonder.
No one. Oh, yeah. Joe Fussner lives on Clark Road, doesn't he?
Clark and
yes.
Colby.
Colby,
Well, we'll just make sure
We
that the
can
board
ask
lets
Tom
them
to
know.
come.
Colby Road.
ask Tom to come, because he's right in the curve of where that big bad spot is on Colby.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's just before the dip.
Right.
yeah.
He'd be a good one to come next Thursday. Tom
Gallant.
Glant.
And what's the guy that lives next to Tom? He was over at,
Tom Glant lives on Colby Road?
Yes.
I thought he lived on Caleb Hill.
No,
that's Matt.
that's Matt.
They built all those houses on the corner going up.
They built Matt's and Ben LaBelle's and Mike's.
Robinson.
When I come back.
And the one in the corner. It's,
Rich Stanley's.
Stanley, yeah.
Rich Stanley. I would,
Oh, you're thinking of
Is it Benson?
I can't think of his name. Yep. Oh, well.
It'll come to you.
I
Yeah.
think that would be good.
the middle of the night.
Norm's on, well, I don't know.
I don't know if he's home. Steve, when you got that call regarding Norm, when was he going in the hospital?
This coming Monday?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, they're gonna go in and operate Monday.
okay, yeah. Yep,
It's bad.
yep, it's back.
Yep.
In his thigh.
And, well, Mike Agne's on Clark.
Yes, Mike
I'll
Agnews
ask
on
you
Clark.
later.
I have his email
Grant Lawrence.
Yeah,
address
well,
too.
we have his email, he,
Yeah.
back and forth, but.
Yep.
Um,
But anyway, if everybody that gets an email just contacts just their immediate neighbors, that will notify quite a few people.
I hear somebody moving down. Do you think they might be here?
Ooh.
5:46. Can we keep going?
I don't know, go down and see.
Does anyone want to listen to Maggie Hassan's address?
There's someone down there. It might just still be closing up too.
No.
Stand her voice the way she talks. Nice person.
Ooh, it's a long one.
I'm not cautiously optimistic.
I'm still paging down here. All right,
All right. Let me get started and see how we...
all right. So Haven Grove, we're on, oh no, we're...
Number
we're-
6,
We're on number 6?
yep.
We gotta get moving here.
I forwarded you an invitation to meet with the Belknap County Legislative Delegation. It's on welfare. I sent it to you and Heather.
It's on North Main Street in Laconia, right?
Yep, it's at the county complex. But it's on lack of funding?
Basically, yeah.
It's downsizing. It's,
Well, I just think it's a good opportunity for you to
I already
meet
told
with
them I'd be
members
there.
of the Belknap
Yeah, I
County
plan on going.
Right, so are you responding, or,
I did.
okay.
No, I didn't
I
know I had to
RSVP'd.
respond, but I'll respond.
Rissifid did.
But an opportunity to get to know the legislative delegation.
On the 14th, 6 to 7?
Yeah, you can have that.
By the way, if you guys have not seen the diorama sitting on the counter at Ernie's Garage, you gotta see it.
Yeah, after the
Oh,
collapse.
did they bring it in?
Yes,
Oh, I love it, yeah.
it's sitting on the counter
They
downstairs.
showed it to me at the gathering we had at the house. I just-
Then after the building collapsed, they collapsed.
Yeah,
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they fixed it
Oh, I
inside.
told them they had to bring it in.
Yeah,
Yep, they did.
they did.
All right, the moderators workshop. Chuck is registered. It's Saturday, February 23rd.
Shouldn't anybody who's considering being the assistant moderators go to that as well? Mr. Sanders?
I don't, yeah, I know Ken has gone to them in the past.
Did Chuck send it out to anyone who he's used on a regular basis for assistant moderators? Like Vin Condroitis and Senator Sanders and,
He didn't say. He wanted to know if any of you were going. When he contacted me, that he had said he had registered.
no, I don't want to go.
No, me neither.
Not interested.
Where's it at?
LGC.
Market?
Yeah, on Saturday.
But the last one I went through was in Rochester.
The wage and fringe benefit survey, I emailed to all the department heads,
Yep.
the board, and then last night, I was talking with Pat, and I emailed it to the budget committee as well, but I don't have Eric Pyra's email or
I can give you
Wayne's?
that, I've got it.
Gmail.
Gmail. And there was one other person. Oh, Mr. Crowley, I don't have his.
Let's not,
From Joanna. So, Crowley, Wade, Crowley.
Wayne Brock,
Oh, Wayne Brock.
let's not,
Wade Brock.
His stuff.
Got it. We've
let's
got
not
letters
throw
from
out
him.
the old one, paper copy,
I'm sorry?
the old one we have, what is, 2011? Or is it 2010?
The
It's every 2 years, right?
It's every year.
Oh, is it every year?
There was one year, though, when I sent the response in, I said Tilton has made no changes in health insurance, no change, no merit raises, and they already had the information for the union contract, and they didn't publish anything for that 1 year.
Well, I'd like, if, before you throw out the paper copy, I'd like to have it.
Yeah, I never throw them out.
Okay.
We should have them all. And
I have 2008s up here.
I'll look in my office, but I'm pretty sure I brought them all up here,
Here's the second one down.
because I have them on,
I thought we had,
because I just do
it
the
was either a
disc.
Second one
2010
down, see
or
it?
11
Yep.
up here. We had a
I
much more
printed
recent
one.
one than the 2008.
Yes,
We had it 2011.
I thought we did.
Yeah, I'm sure it's up here, but I'll look down.
I looked in your
Franklin.
office and I felt so awful. I had to make a phone call and say, where is it? It felt like going through people's things.
on the shelf, on the
No, I
shelf.
didn't see it on the shelf.
Oh, that's where it
Could be in the town clerk's
wasn't.
office. I know that she uses it occasionally.
No, I wasn't going there. Sorry, there was no way.
All right, and the other one is his whole name, just at gmail.com. Okay.
Yep. Hell could have frozen over on that one.
Okay.
Actually, it probably
Oh,
is.
is there anybody else you'd want me to send it to?
Oh, for the moderator school?
No, for the wage.
Oh, I can't think of anything.
I can't actually access anything that says anything about actual wages. Maybe I'm just missing this, but
There's 7 attachments.
I opened them all.
I opened them all too, and I couldn't see it.
Just
Thank you,
because you
Joe.
open them, though, there's multiple things on
Oh, yeah,
there.
there's like a gazillion tabs.
Can we
It's
get-
an Excel spreadsheet?
Yeah. You just keep opening the tabs till you find the one you want.
I figured I'd play with it a little later, but
But I tried printing it out, and it doesn't print well downstairs. It cuts off the bottom, and it cuts off the top. I was trying to shrink it a little bit to just print a couple of them out. I wasn't going to print the whole thing out, but,
Well, it's nice because on the tabs for the wages, they've got 2. They've got one that's locked and one that's unlocked. So you can sort the data
right,
any way you want.
right.
So that's a nice feature.
Yes, it is.
excuse me.
Okay, the Town Hall School Street entrance, I have, well, we went over this last week. I have the estimate, I've got the certificates of insurance for Pearl and Sons, and we're just waiting. They're going to notify me at least 2 days in advance when they're going to set up, because the Highway Department has to make sure that the sidewalk is clear and that we've got those big, work zone signs and some cones and things.
Right.
And they're making, Lakes Region Gutter is making arrangements with PSNH to get the wires covered. Budget Committee public hearing notice, I sent that off today, and of course I didn't bring one up. It's January 23rd and February 13th. Oh, here it is. I did print one out.
Public hearing, January 23rd.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to read this so people will hear it on the video.
The Tilton Budget Committee will hold the first public hearing on Wednesday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. for receiving public comment on the fiscal year 2013 Budget Committee's recommended budget. A second public hearing will be held on Wednesday, February 13th, 2013, at 7 p.m. for receiving public comment on fiscal year 2013 Budget Committee's recommended budget and warrant articles. Both hearings will be held upstairs at the Tilton Town Hall, 257 Main Street, Tilton, New Hampshire. Copies of the budget will be available on the town's website, www.tiltonnh.org, and at the Tilton Town Hall at the public hearings. John Scanlon, Chairman, Tilton Budget Committee.
Okay.
So,
When this notice gets sent out for the annual report deadline, February 1st, can we request that people respond that they have received it? I've received emails that way. that they want me to
Yes.
see.
Yes.
Yes,
You want
I've
to mark
received
it.
this.
A receipt.
Okay,
Just so that no one can say, I didn't get the notice.
okay.
Right.
Because we heard that a lot last year.
Yes, we did.
And I think it's kind of like it's lost in the mail.
Okay, if you want to do that now, I have one that's to all town departments, boards, committees, and commissions. And the other one, I went through the annual report to see what outside agencies we printed, and I have the fire department, the water district, Park Cemetery, Hall Memorial Library, and summer concert series.
I wonder if we should ask, last Saturday, June,
You have the senior,
Old Home Day.
Oh,
last year you asked the senior committee.
Water department, town department.
how about Old Home Day?
Should we add them?
Well, that's an outside agency, but yeah, I mean,
Why is it an
a-
outside agency? It's two towns getting together.
Yeah,
It's a committee.
Well, if they're an independent, it's not municipal.
I'll
right.
get it.
It's an outside agency that's brought the two towns
Yeah.
together, but since they're providing a service to both towns, I'm just thinking it'd be nice to include them.
okay.
We can
I
ask
do
to
that.
include them. I mean, if they don't, then they don't.
Okay. So add Old Home Day. Well, they give you a budget, don't they, for the budget committee? But you want a,
I'm nice to get a little report. Maybe we'll know what the theme is going to be for this year.
Yeah,
How
'cause that
things are
was
going
part of the
and-
problem, as I recall last year, is it seemed like there was a definite lack of communication. So I thought, well, maybe if we have something in our annual report,
and then other agencies send us information, and then what Tim does is he puts it on the website,
right.
Yeah.
like Pines Community Center and Trails Association. Okay. Okay, Town of Tilton Ethics Policy. This was my New Year's resolution. I had started and stopped doing it ever since the board adopted it back in October, and I'm bound and determined to get that done, so I'm almost done. Joint Loss Management Safety Committee policy, if you recall, we're supposed to do those every other year, and I was late, it would have been last year's, and I had to go down and have a hearing and
Right.
and all that, and they waived it, and they said, this is it, no more. So I just want you to know that
You're on it.
I sent it. We're done.
Great.
You don't have to worry. Okay, Haven Grove, that's all signed, sealed, and delivered, and I gave you all a document.
And he's able to do the work now, right?
You know, when he came in to sign, I said, so you're going to do this? He says, well, I can't right now. He said, as soon as,
All the trees are down, did you notice?
no, I haven't been that way in a while.
I just happened to go by the other, yesterday, was it? And I noticed all the trees are down around the outbuilding. Looks nice, actually.
Yeah.
I was coming off a route, I didn't stop at the senior center, but
Okay, number 16 are the different changes in the health and dental insurance. And I'll give a summary to you before the next, we'll do that, I'll have that next Tuesday.
Okay.
Requesting a non-public session for legal correspondence. Records retention, just to give you a quick update, last week with our community service participant, and Gus helped for the 2 days she was here. We cleaned out the metal supply cabinet, the storage closet, and that room in the basement that has the storage bins, and we're now ready to begin working on disposing of records that are located in the secure record storage room downstairs, and I've attached our town policy and a most recent update of the statute, because they keep adding things to it.
Right.
And what I'd like to do is, while we have this community service person, the next batch I'd like to start working on is planning and zoning. And so, I'm kind of counting on you and Gus to plan to spend some time. She's here in the afternoons from 1 to 4.
do you think that we'll adequately cover the 80 hours required? Do you think we got enough work for her to?
Oh, working on that, yes, because one of the things I can set her up to do is once we decide what we're disposing of,
Yep.
she can be shredding.
Okay.
And the other thing I was going to work with her on was showing her how to scan documents.
Okay, great.
All right, and then just a little summary on the Ernie's demolition. As I getting the emails, I send them off to everybody. But I just want to make sure that, for the record, that I want to thank Chuck and Kathy Mitchell for going out and taking all the photographs on the collapse so that we could document that. And then they're very useful because we've included them in our review for the Division of Cultural and Historic Resources. They had asked for some more photographs, so we sent those.
Nice.
And the drum is being removed tomorrow. I'm going to have Dennis, I haven't heard back from him yet, but I want him there. We just, as a town representative, we have to sign off saying, yes, I see that drum, I see.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
That's it?
I did it.
Wow, great.
It's about the New Year's resolutions. See how long it'll last.
Peter, are you here to see us? For public session?
Sure.
You need to talk with us, because we're going to go into non-public, because we're all done a meeting, actually.
Okay, because I can see on the agenda when public was, and I was assumed it was around 6, so that's what I planned.
Yeah. So, come on, you need to talk with us, come on up.
Let's see, I think this is the start of my annual trip. There's a few signatures from part of the GEM district regarding Manville Road.
We, the undersigned, being taxpayers, residents, drivers, and/or employees required to use Manville Road, respectfully request the town of Tilton solve the following ongoing issues. Maintain safe travel on Manville Road following winter snow, sleet, rain events so as to prevent the skating rink from the storms of 1/12/12 and 1/17/12. 2, remedy proper site distance at the intersection of Laconia Road, US Route 3, and Manville Road, especially when yard sales occur at Clough Auto Body. 3, maintain full travel width at the railroad crossing, no funnel effect. As this crossing in a corner on a no-salt road, it can be treacherous navigating through this area after any winter storm event, along with the groomers working in the snow on the snowmobile trail located on the railroad corridor. 4, remedy the pond ice buildups located in the front of large pine trees by 3M sediment ponds and entrance to Paper Trail Road. 5, maintain full travel width at the intersection of Manville, Andrews, Crystal, where Crystal Lane meets the 3M property, no funnel effect. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 signatures?
Yep.
Does anybody else want a copy?
Sure. I think we should all have a copy here. And Catherine,
And then just going off line, drive and stay alive, can probably get more accurate, but stopping distances for dry pavement, 40 miles an hour is 120 feet, 50 miles an hour is 175. There's a wet pavement, 40 miles is 200 feet, 50 is 300 feet.
didn't we correct some of this over the summer?
Not
during
really, well,
The line of sight, didn't we correct some of the line of sight
we
with?
got about 50 feet.
No, that, you're talking about the yard sale?
Yeah.
No, they really didn't. I went down there. I was
50
called.
feet was all they cordoned
I went
off.
down there, turned around and tried to come out Manville, and it wasn't enough.
Or
It
did-
just wasn't enough.
Well, what about the culvert? Didn't that take care of some of the,
Well, he lowered the sides or all
Right.
got rid of all that sand and stuff.
Manville?
Yeah.
The problem is, you get any heavy rain at ponds, and it's quarter to halfway into the road.
still,
Yeah, it does,
it never took care of the issue?
it didn't solve it, no. Any heavy rain at ponds, and then it slowly perks in, but it'll take a day or so.
Some of that rain comes down from Manville itself, because Manville
Right.
pitches down to the intersection.
So why don't we address this issue with the people on Manville Road and Dennis, and have Dennis here, and we can address the situation.
Actually, there's no people on Manville, but
Well, the people that live at the end, the GEM district.
Manville just gets you there.
that's right, that's our access.
Sort of like a driveway.
thought we had this resolved, that's why I thought
Okay.
this issue was
The
resolved.
snow, the winter maintenance, we're starting to get the buildup. The problem we have at the railroad, if you look in the good weather, one of the rails is set high, so when they come across and plow, they lift, so that starts the mound.
So if I went up there tonight, I would be able to
See a
see
bit of a
that.
mound, and some of it's loose and soft. The other thing, I thought we had discussed sand, salt from the railroad
Yes.
track to Route 3. We've got the track in coming off of Route 3, and part of that's getting into the outgoing lane, but you still have hardtack trying to get out.
Okay, gotcha.
And that fell by the wayside because we voted to do the sand salt right up to the tracks.
That's right.
But I thought it was just for the last year.
Peter, do you want your original back? or can you
Sure.
keep it? I'll
Sure.
give you a copy.
Here's another copy. I had made one copy, I just...
We have copies now, so. Do you want to try to make an appointment maybe 2 weeks from today? Is that enough to get notice out to the folks that are on this list to come and meet with us with Dennis?
I can try, I'll get some other ones too.
Well, we'll send letters out, but do you want to,
I'll get
do
some
you
of the
think
other
that's
neighbors.
enough, or do you want to go 3 weeks? I mean, 3 weeks is into the winter, so
That should be enough.
2? Catherine, can we put them on the agenda for 2 weeks from tonight? And ask that Dennis be here. Joyce, make sure that Dennis is to be here
17.
on the 17th. What time is good for you? Because you get out of work.
What are my options? Around now would be fine.
6:30?
Yes, that would be fine.
Okay. Why don't we make it at 6:30 so that people that get out of work from that area can make it, yep.
So we're going to send letters to all of you.
We'll send letters to these people here, letting them know that we have a meeting with the selectmen and the highway director to go over the concerns of the residents. Meanwhile, we'll all take a ride out there to see what, you're out there all the time anyway. Okay. Does that sound good? All right.
I'm trying to water down.
I was going to ask, how's it going?
Well, with school, it's kind of tough. New Year's Eve, I got 6 hours of water. New Year's 12, problem was the northeast corner. The wind had blown the liner back in, so you can see where it had bled under. I think we're cold enough now that it won't, but I still don't have a full.
I just want to pay for it.
Really?
Pull it out of the hydrants.
For community?
Pull it out of the hydrants. Talk to the water district.
Pull it up.
Serious?
What if we pull it off of engine 3?
Right.
They might do that again for us. I think
They
they
take it
feel-
right off
They
the
use the
engine.
tanker, which I don't, to me, if you had engine 3, like when we put out the fire, you can get a nice steady stream.
I think they were doing it, and then there was conversation
Yeah.
Right.
about where the water was coming from, we should be billed. And then I think they went down and filled up at one of the dry hydrants, like on River Road.
So what's the 125,000 a year for if they can't use the water?
Well, that was part of the discussion.
I mean, that's a community effort. I would think water, fire,
That's why
and the
the,
selectmen should all be embracing that.
well, that's why the the fire chief was more than happy to help us.
What I'm going to probably do is set it up tomorrow night, let it run all night, and I can check it in the morning, Saturday morning early. It's just weekdays it's tough.
Okay, I'll be around this weekend, I think.
Okay. I've got picked up 4 sections of hose
Joyce?
Monday night. Right now, the first spigot has froze up on me at the top. I'm working on the other one. I thought I'd blown it out well enough, but right now I
You
can't.
can't leave a hose attached to them.
I
Oh,
shut-
really? And it was a high,
There's a little bit of water near, but I had opened it and thought it all had come out. I'm trying to figure out, should I leave it open after I shut it down? That's what I'll do with the second one.
yeah.
I think
We
the
could
other
put a
one-
heat tape on them, too.
Yeah, heat tape, if we get a little propane or butane torch now, maybe enough to heat it up to,
Just have to be careful, there are some
Right.
rubber gaskets in there.
just enough to
Yeah.
warm it up. So we're trying to get that.
I have one of those butane things on a cane. It looks like a cane.
I have propane torches.
Oh, you didn't want the handheld that you're going to do it, okay.
We can look at the other thing is if the other one stays free that way, just do it that.
This might be handy on the ice, though, for you. And it looks like a cane, and it holds the little canisters of propane. If you came up with a little divot in the ice, you just blow it, and it smooths it right over. Seriously. Oh, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Just
You gonna
gotta
run
get
the
the can.
Zamboni this winter?
This is
I
greater
haven't
than
figured out our Zamboni.
We have our own Zamboni.
I know.
All right, okay.
Pretty funky. All right. Call me if you need anything.
Okay. I'll probably run till 7:38 tonight with the hose and pick it up.
Okay, I'll swing in if I'm out in time.
Budget Committee wants the Parks Commission to come in, just to meet with them
When?
Next week.
next week.
Okay.
Wednesday.
They alerted the chair? Because he hasn't said anything to me, because...
Last night, they alerted,
Oh,
Okay,
she might not have because she wasn't here today.
okay, I'll let
It
Bob
was a
know.
little chilly up here.
It was?
Yeah, there's
Well,
no
you sh-
heat.
You should have shut off the air conditioners. No, they're only...
Oh, that's a great idea.
I had my scarf, hat, and gloves on.
So why didn't you move downstairs then? Wasn't it warmer
All my
down there?
stuff is in that computer.
Oh, okay. Here, when we meet up here, it's always nice and toasty.
we make sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter.
Okay, is there any more business to come before us in the public? Chief, you're all set? I'd like to make a motion to enter into non-public session as per RSA 91A:3E. Consideration, negotiation of pending claims or litigation which has been threatened in writing or filed against the body of agents or any subdivision. Any application filed for tax abatement pursuant to law with any body or board shall not constitute a threatened or filed litigation against any body, board, or agency for the purposes of this subparagraph. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are currently red, and I would like to make a
No. We have one more thing.
Yes.
I would like to make a
Oh.
motion to seal the record of the non-public session as they pertain to people's reputation, townspeople,
Permanently.
permanently.
And
And as they pertain to legal
Litigation.
issues, until such time as those issues might be resolved.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Okay, one more thing, come on.
One more thing. In the police budget, we said we would make a decision, and I don't care if we put it off till next week, that's fine, I don't really care, but we have to make a decision. And I'd prefer it if all of us were here, whether or not to continue parking enforcement officers.
Right.
How long have they
said-
been out there doing it?
3 months.
But we said we would talk about it
We would talk about it after 3 months,
I
right.
thought they got out there in November.
November she went out, yeah.
So that's 2
Do
months.
you have any information that you can offer us towards what they're doing out there?
I can.
Give me 5 minutes.
That one thing that my staff has noticed is decals are up, so compliance is up. And that's the goal we're trying to achieve. I don't care if tickets go down as long as
So one of the,
So they said that decals have doubled from last year, and they've seen a noticeable just since she's been here. She said she started going out handing all these pamphlets, notices, and people were just showing up at the station that they haven't seen. So that's the upside. I think, one of the 2 employees is actually putting in a lot of time and effort to make it work. And so I'd ask that maybe we just take another look at it maybe around the end of the first quarter.
I'd like to at least go through a snow plowing event to see if we have the issues with abandoned cars in the parking lot that
Right.
we've had, and, people that aren't
Right,
paying
right.
attention to.
Yep, that's the stuff I asked her to.
Do we
I mean,
want to
that's-
continue this on a trial basis, because we have it in the, we're proposing it in the budget? A trial basis for another 3 months to get us through to the spring? Get us through the winter months with the
Yeah.
plowing and the situation with the parking?
And we have made arrangements in our budget to cover it?
Yes, we have.
And they've already approved it. I mean,
Okay.
anything can change
How
between now
is
and
the
then,
community relations aspect of this project?
I guess that's one of the.
depends on if you're
things
ticketed or not.
that person's good at. And so that's working out too.
So the downtown area people, residents and
Responding
businesses
well
all
to it,
like the
yeah.
fact that she's there.
Yep.
So that was a question that the Budget Committee, one of the things that the Budget Committee brought up last night. They did approve your budget, by the way, last night. But,
No car.
No car?
don't worry him now.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
I can see that smile.
Then you didn't see those little horns pop out when
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was
I
saying
talked
that?
them right out of it. No, actually, they did. They passed it on, and they asked questions. They asked a lot of questions. It wasn't like they just vicariously passed the budget.
Right.
They scrutinized it, they asked a lot of questions,
Right.
and then they passed it.
Yeah.
The only thing they didn't was
I
the
saw
parking
that, thank you.
I have a
Right, because they hadn't seen it.
Right, and that makes
I
perfect
have a
so
scanner, I'm
I'll
gonna
make a
scan it
motion
and
that
send it to Marge
we revisit
and all the
the
members of the,
parking
committee.
enforcement officers and continue the trial until March?
Yeah.
April 1st?
April 1.
April 1st, 2013.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
yes.
Aye. Okay.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Non-negotiable. Got it.
All those in favor?
Non-negotiable.
All those opposed? No! I want to stay here for hours.
Okay, you can be here all you want. Lock up if you decide to leave.
Thank you.
I'm lying, I
Wait
vote
one
yes.
second, I did the letter to the petitioners inviting them to the meeting. If you want to sign that, if not, I'll sign it.
Go
I
ahead.
can sign it. Go ahead, I just got to call back the con.